Marcus Webb had been awake since 4 in the morning. That was nothing new. Since his wife had passed 2 years ago, sleep had become a stranger to him, arriving late and leaving early, like a guest who never felt welcome. He had 2 boys, 7-year-old twins named Caleb and Daniel, and every single day was a race against bills, deadlines, and a world that did not slow down for grief. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. Also, tell us in the comments where in the world are you watching from. That morning he had dropped the boys at school, driven to his second job interview of the week, and was heading home with nothing to show for it but a polite rejection and a near-empty gas tank. The sky was grey, the kind of grey that matched his mood perfectly, and he was already calculating whether he had enough for groceries or bus fare for the week, not both. Then he saw them. 2 women stood beside a silver sedan, pulled off to the shoulder of Route 9, hazard lights blinking weakly in the dull morning light. They looked to be in their late 20s, dressed professionally, clearly on their way somewhere important. One was on the phone, frustrated, while the other crouched near the flat, rear tire with the expression of someone who had never changed one in their life. Marcus almost kept driving. He was tired, he was low on time, and he had his own problems stacked ceiling high, but his father's voice echoed in his head, the way it always did in moments like this. You help people because it is right, not because it is convenient. He pulled over. Need a hand? He called, rolling down his window. The woman on the phone looked startled, then relieved. Yes, please, we have no idea what we are doing, she admitted with a short laugh. Her name was Sophia, and her twin sister was Grace. They were on their way to a morning meeting and had no spare tire experience between them. Marcus popped his trunk, pulled out his own jack and wrench, and got to work without making a fuss about it. The rain started lightly, just enough to make the whole thing uncomfortable, but he did not stop. He chatted with them as he worked, keeping the mood easy. They asked about him, and he told them a little, not the hard parts, just that he was a single dad trying to keep things together. Sophia and Grace exchanged a quiet look that he did not notice. Within 20 minutes, the tire was changed. The tools were packed, and Marcus wiped his hands on an old rag from his back seat. Can we pay you? Grace asked, already reaching for her purse. Marcus shook his head firmly. No need. Just pay it forward sometime. He gave them a small wave and drove off before they could argue. He did not think much of it after that. It was just something he had done. The right thing, nothing more. What Marcus did not know was that Sophia and Grace were the daughters of Judge Harold Carmichael, one of the most respected judges in the county, and Judge Carmichael was the very man scheduled to preside over Marcus's custody hearing the following Thursday, a hearing that would determine whether Marcus kept full custody of Caleb and Daniel, or lost them to a system that had already written him off as a struggling, unemployed single father with mounting debt. The case looked difficult from the outside. Marcus's public defender was overworked. The opposing paperwork painted him as unstable, and the odds were quietly stacked against him. That evening, Sophia called her father. She did not ask him to do anything improper. She simply told him what had happened, described the man on the side of Route 9, a tired but kind man with gentle eyes and a father's quiet strength, and said she thought he deserved to be seen as a whole person. Judge Carmichael listened without interrupting. When he walked into that courtroom on Thursday, he looked at Marcus Webb not as a file number but as a man. He reviewed every detail carefully, thoroughly and fairly. He saw the school records, the letters from teachers, the small but steady proof of a father fighting for his children with everything he had. He ruled in Marcus's favor. Marcus never connected the dots. He never knew that the women on Route 9 were the judge's daughters. Never knew that one quiet act of decency in the rain had quietly turned the tide of his life. He just went home that afternoon, hugged his boys until they squirmed, made them grilled cheese for dinner, and thanked God for small mercies. Some blessings arrive in disguise. On a grey morning beside a broken car, when you almost did not stop. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Kindness True Stories. where every story is a reminder that goodness still lives in the world.